Hello, and welcome to week 10 in this Stitched Circle Show Challenge. Just quickly, my name is Lisbeth, and you probably all know that who has joined this challenge. But for those of you who have jumped into this video, I'm a Danish abstract mixed media artist who likes to do all sorts of things. But I also want to say a couple of things too. It is so lovely to see all your nice pieces in the Dogma embroidery group. But please remember to share your pictures under the tab under the banner picture where it says, in English it probably says media and then albums. And then I have made an album where I had called it week 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or whatever number we have gone to. And please put your pictures there. Don't make albums yourself. I will delete them. Because the reason why I do it like this is everybody can go and look at that album for that week and be so inspired by seeing all the lovely pictures that's lying there with all the ways you have chosen to do the challenge that week. It's not that I'm a very strict or mean person, but we are many members and we can easily drown in a lot of posts in the group, and I really want to have this to be about the stitched pieces and not so much else while this challenge is going on. Afterwards you can always post other things. That was one thing. The other thing is, if you apply a friend or a person you know for this group, it doesn't work because that person won't answer the 3 questions, and I won't let anyone in the group if you don't answer the 3 questions. It is some very easy questions, and but if people don't bother to answer that, I think they don't belong in that group here. But that's how I have chosen to set the rules for this. Oh, was there anything else I want to say? I don't think so right now. But there's link to the playlist with all the other weeks down under here. And there also was a link for making this book down under here. But let us get started, and enough of me talking and lifting my index finger here. I can't believe that we have gone to week 10 already. I think time flies by so quickly, but perhaps that's just because I'm getting older, and I can remember when I was a child, when we had summer holiday, these 8 weeks or 7 weeks we had, it was the whole world of time. And now time goes like this here. Yeah, but what I have come up with here for week 10 is the following Dogma Rules. And I have my book ready here. You have to get a piece of cardstock or heavy watercolor, quite thick watercolor. And then you have to trace 4 circles in the same size. You decide where you will put them. They have to be the same size. And then you cut the hole out, so you end up with a, imagine that was paper, but it is plastic with something with 4 holes in, like this. And then we're going to do the stitching, and for the life of me I don't know what that stitching is called, so you will wait and have to see what I'm doing. If anybody knows what this is called, please enlighten me. I would very much like to know. But the thread you have to use is a cream white thread, and you can decide whatever kind of thread you want to use. That is up to you, as long as it is a color like this. And the four rules, the four rule is just an option. It is up to you if you want to do it or not. But you can, when you're done with your sewing and you have this piece here that is done, you can choose to put a colored piece of paper or any kind of paper on the behind here, so you can see the paper up against the hole. That is one option. Or you can choose to paint or glue a piece of paper in here. But if you glue a piece of paper, perhaps it will be difficult to write the Dogma Rules. But if you paint it with watercolor, for instance, you can still write on it. But that's option as an option for you. You don't have to do it. That you decide if you want to do that. So I will just start with cutting the holes, placing the holes and cutting the holes. And when I have done that, I will show it to you how I have chosen to put my 4 same size holes. This is just a little tip if you want to place your circle exactly 1, 2, 3, 4 with the same space between them, or all the way around and in between. So you divide your paper in 4 squares. Then you draw a diagonal line there and a diagonal line there, and then you draw these diagonal lines there and there. And now you know that is where exactly the center of your circle should be. But I don't say you have to do this. You can put your circles anywhere you want on the paper. This is just the way you can do it, and you can use this way in other works if you want to. Just a little tip. So now they are cut out. I'm so lucky I have such a circle cutter, but if you don't have that, and many perhaps doesn't, then you will have to use your small scissor and cut them out. And I think they sit quite nice if that was what I wanted them to sit like this. And I can see it is fraying a little there, but that doesn't matter. So now is the time to decide if you want to use a white or a creamy thread. So I will find out. Yeah, and just a moment. Save these. You never know when you can get use of them in another project, perhaps. I don't think it will be in this project here, or this challenge here, because then we will make some use. It isn't all who have the fine round ones. If you have been cutting them out, there probably are a cut into them. But what was I saying? Yes, I will find out what kind of thread I will be using and threading my needle, and then we can start stitching. Before we can start stitching, we have to punch some holes to put our thread through. And I have such a plastic thing here where I can put my paper on. Perhaps you have a thick book or piece of cardboard or a heavy piece of felt you can put under. And I'm so lucky I have this thing here. My hubby has made it for me. It's a wooden handle with a part from an old compass, and then there's sitting a needle in here, and I can change the needle. But you can easily make such a thing by yourself. This is, I will remove this, a corkscrew, and I have just put the eye of the needle up in the cork and give it a dab of glue, and then I have a fine thing to punch with. This is a little bigger needle than I have here, so I use this when I'm using bigger threads. But since I am using this thread here, and it is a paper thread, and I'm just want to use that because I like to sew with it, but use whatever kind of white creamy thread you have. Then I can use this one with this size of needle But generally, the smaller the holes you can poke and the thinner needle you can use, the nicer it looks. It doesn't look that nice if you make a big hole with your punch thing and then sew with a thin thread. It would, I don't think that looks nice, but perhaps that's just me. But the way I punch holes, and yeah, how can I explain it to you? These circles aren't so big, but you can do this as up to any size circle you want. And of course, the bigger the circles, the more holes you will have to pre-poke. But it's the exact same you do, despite what size your circle hole is. So the thing I'm doing is I'm going about 3-4 millimeters perhaps away from the edge, and then I punch through here at 12 o'clock, and I do exactly the same here by 6 o'clock and about 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock. Then you have 4 holes. And now, for now, I'm only eyeballing. If you want to do it totally neat and exact, you will have to have a ruler that can do that. But I just look at these 2 holes here and think, oh my, yeah, I think it is about there. And then I punch a hole there, and I do the same here. So you can see it is yeah, and there, and there, and yeah, it isn't so easy for me because I have this phone here under my nose. There. And again, you can decide now if you want 1 hole there and 1 hole there and there. That would be 3 holes here. And this is now where you bigger the circle you have, the more you do it like this, and then you do it in between again. But this isn't a very big circle, so I think I will just go in between here, these 2, and then there and there, and again I will go in between there, there, and there, and in between. I have a piece I have made a couple of years ago where I have all different sizes of circles, and I can put a picture of that in at the end of the video. And you can see it isn't the exact same space that is between but as good as you can do it. No one is obligated beside their skills. And there, and there, and there. Yeah, perhaps it is easier to see on the back side. So this is what I will do at all my 4 circles. So 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and 9 o'clock. And in between, And then you again in between and in between and in between. So I will do that and come back as fast as I can. So done with all the pre-punching here of the with my little tool, and you don't need that tool either. You can just take a darning needle, for instance, if you have a smaller one. But I have threaded my needle, and I don't hope this will be too confusing, but as soon as you get it, you will say, oh, isn't it nothing else but that? But you can come up in any hole you like, and from behind, and I don't want a knot here because it is paper, and I don't like big fat knots on my backside of my papers. I don't think it would matter so much here because it is quite heavy paper I have used, but if it is thinner paper, then there would be a bump, and I don't like that. I also have taken a quite long thread, and try not to put the tape over the holes. And now here is the way you can do it. Depending on where you go down, this line will go in all these directions here. So I think I will count here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If I go down in hole number 9, you don't have to do this. You can go down in any hole you want, like this. Yeah, you can see it. And the way you continue is you always move ahead of you. So you went down there, then you have to come up in the clockwise, the next hole. And then you go over and you go down. There was your last time, and clockwise there is the next hole. And there you go down. And that you keep on doing all the time. You come up here, and I will remove these so they don't come in the way, and go down here clockwise, come up beside it. I can see I have quite a big head on my needle. Yeah, and this thread is also kinking, but I know it does that, so I'm used to it. It's just to find out where it is. There it is, there. And then you go down here. Come clockwise up. Go down clockwise. And then you come up in the next hole here. Go down. Here, clockwise, and you come up, and this you keep doing on all the way around. Just think of moving with the clock. Go down and come up in the next hole. Go over to the other side, there, down, and up in the free hole here. and down, clockwise and up in the next hole. And now you can see this is where you come up last time. So now you will have to go down here where already is the thread, and that would be the same all the way around. And then you come up in the next hole. That was perhaps not the smartest thing to use this thread here when I'm trying to show you what I'm doing, but I wasn't thinking of that. There. So now again you go clockwise down, come up in the next hole here. Now you can see there's like a small V there because you have been coming up and down in this hole and this hole. So the next hole you go down in this one, only where there's one stitch already, and then you come up in the next clockwise here up, and you go down clockwise here, and you come up. And you go down where there only is one stitch coming up of the hole and down here. Up in the next clockwise and down clockwise here. And I really hope somebody here in the group knows what this stitching here is called. I have absolutely no idea. Even in Danish I don't know what it's called. And clockwise up again and down, up in the next hole, and down where there's only one thread coming up, down there, and up there, as soon as you're going, it is quite nice to do this because it nearly goes by itself, because you know what to do up and down here. And the nearer you get the end, the more you wish for your thread is long enough. And if it don't is long enough, we will have to put in a new thread. But that we will manage to. So again, down here where there's only this one stitch already, and up in the next clockwise, down here, and now you can see you have the next hole clockwise to come up in this one, and there is a thread already, but you have to go up there anyway. So now you will be stitching in holes there's the thread in already, but yeah. And you can see now it's crossing each other there, so the next stitch is there. Come up in the next thread, not thread hole, clockwise, and down here where there's only one stitch already. Up clockwise, and down here where there's only one stitch already, up in the next. Perhaps some of you already got it and think, why isn't she stopping showing us? We know, but I think I will sew this one up before I show you how you can start one of the others. Oh, now I'm talking instead of thinking about what it is I'm doing. Yeah, you probably all know that feeling. So here we were, so I will have to go over here, there. And up here where there isn't a stitch already, and down here where there is the stitch already, and up here, and down here where there isn't a stitch already, and up. Yeah, where is it? I'm going up there. No, it isn't. There I'm coming up, and down here. And now you can see there are 2 stitches in, you are come up and down 2 places in every hole, and this is how it looks. And isn't that neat? So I will do exactly the same on the other 4, but I will, instead of going down in hole number 9, here it's like sounds like I'm playing golf, but I ain't playing golf. So I'll secure it with some tape. So I will just thread my needle and be back. So I just secured my thread on the back side. Last time we came up in hole number 9, and as I said, you can come up in any number you like, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 10, 11. So I think I will come up here. Not come up, go down, you stupid woman. Yeah, and come up clockwise here, and go down clockwise there. And as soon as I have stitched a little more, you will see this area here will be bigger. The more holes there is between where you come up and down, the more this will, the bigger this will be, this thing you have stitched there. And where is my needle? And I will come up. I also think I have gotten a needle without a point. That doesn't make it easier either. Yeah, but we will manage. So I will do exactly the same as I did before. And perhaps you can already see that this will be bigger. So I would encourage you to make them all 4 differently to see. And then any order of that that is up to you. So I will stitch them and show it to you how mine looks when I'm done. So done with all my sewing, and you can see there I had 9 holes between, and there I had 11, and there I had 10, and there I had 13 holes. And if you go more than half of the holes up and down. There won't be a hole in there, but it is totally up to you how you will make them, or you will make them the same or different, or yeah, whatever you want to do. Or you will place the circles differently on mine. You just have to do 4 circles. And now I will get my book here. And this was there. I think I will pull it out of the cover, take it out of the cover, so I'm ready. And this has this size here. Yeah, that's one thing I want to mention. That is, it is quite important you don't drag too much or pull too much in the thread, so your substrate will go like this, like an old piece of bread that has been lying in the sun too long. Then it goes like this. So you have to not let them bow or be too long, but not too short either. That's the only thing that's important here. And I don't know if that is easier for you. I can hold it here a little, and I can hold it here for a little while. I tried to draw what it is I'm doing. You come up in 1 and down in 2 and up in 3 and down in 4 and blah 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 all the way around. And at some point here you come up and down in the same holes about here, and that's where I had made a slash and a new number. So take a screen dump with your phone if you're interested in that. I think it is quite pure and clean to look at here when I'm putting white thread on white paper in a white book. And if you like that, do that. But here you have some options. You can paint here under if you want with watercolor, for instance, and then place it. Or you can put a piece of paper under and glue that down here on the back of the substrate, and you can do choose whatever papers you want to do it with. And I think I want to do that, and I have found this old jelly print I think looks nice. So I will just cut it out and glue it on the back of the watercolor paper here. I have just cut it a little smaller than my substrate is. So I will turn it around, and yeah, I can do here. And then I will just put some glue here. On the back. Only around the edges, and I will do the same here. And then I would, oh, holy Moses, I put glue on the wrong side. Of course I would have to put glue on the colored side, else it won't work. I think I'm a little tired in my head right now after all this stitching here. So this is better. So I will just place it here inside like this. And turn it around. And it is still not a strong color, but I really like this. So again, I will put it in my book. And before you glue it in your book, consider which way you want to put it in. And I think it is fine here. So I will just put my double-sided tape down here. And try not to cut in your substrate here. And then I will finish it down. And this is always the scary things here, to take this off. Yeah, it went well here and quick and easy. And then I will put it in my book. so I can eyeball it there, like this. And perhaps I should have written the rules before I put it down. I don't think I can tip it up and put it down there, so I will skip it, I think. But if you want, you can write week 10 and the Dogma Rules, and I will also put the Dogma Rules under the video here in the description box. Yeah, so this was week 10. So it is glued in my book, and I think it looks very nice, and I can see I put it in. It's very crooked, but I don't think I can do it better now. It sits there now. But I hope you have been enjoying this challenge, and even though it perhaps was a little confusing, but I'm sure when you start doing it you will get the hang of it. And if you're unsure you can do it the first time, take another piece of paper and practice on that before you start doing your piece, because it is the same you do all the time. And play with the amount of holes you have between where you come up and down. Then you can have all these different sizes, or make them all even. That is up to you. But then you can always do some other things where you use it, and then you know you can do it differently. So again, I hope you have learned a little, and learned some tips and tricks perhaps, and I have been enjoying doing this challenge here, week 10. So please, if you're a member in the Dogma Rule group on Facebook, and you do the challenges, please share them there. We all want to see what you're doing. It is very exciting to see what other people are doing, and perhaps you will get some new ideas and inspiration by that. And that's the meaning of this. Sharing knowledge and experiences is, in my opinion, a very important thing. But I will just say, please, if you like this, please give my videos a thumbs up, and please consider subscribing my Little Danish channel. That would be appreciated very much. And then I would say, take care and be creative until we see each other next Thursday. Bye bye.